My World of Travel with Michael Byrne, taking you on a virtual journey each week.
Welcome to My World of Travel. Join Michael each week on his up-and-coming podcast as we explore remarkable destinations that each tell a unique story.
Back to week 4 of My World of Travel. Okay, welcome again. Now, first of all, I want to wish you all a very, very happy week because it's coming up to Christmas. Okay, and My World of Travel is especially for all the people who like to travel and who like information about the traveling and how to get there and the pitfalls to watch out for. Now, I've been broadcast, this is my 4th episode of my podcast, okay, and as you can see, we have our Christmas decorations in the studio. Yes, of course. Now, we had lots of queries from last week, and as I've always said to you, we do our best to make sure that I can answer most of them. Now, I went a bit over my time last week, so this week I'm going to try and keep it to the 20 minutes or the max or even less. Okay, we've got a lot to get through. At the end of this podcast, we have a little special treat for you because it's Christmas week. And I want you to get you into the Christmas spirit, and I've got a special little short film for you to show you at the end of this podcast. Now, first of all, as you all know, my name is Michael. For those who have just joined us, do please subscribe, okay, because it does help us the more. Last week, we had quite a few. There's just one particular one, the feedback I want to give you on last week's one was it to Janet from Cavan. Her mother was using a wheelchair assistance and she wanted to know about airport assistance. Well, she got back onto me again and she said that I was correct in what I said. She did phone the airport and they have arranged special assistance for her for traveling. So it does pay to listen carefully, okay? Now, I know from time to time that people do worry about everything to do with the airport. So before we go into the actual podcast itself and to answer some of your queries, I'm just going to give you a bit of feedback because I got feedback last week from a guy called Basha. Now, sometimes it's nice to hear a little story, a short story about Basha. Now, Basha is a guy with a long ponytail, okay? Now, when I first met him, I was working in Benidorm for TUI, okay, and I went into the office to get some paperwork, and there was this guy with a ponytail. From behind, I saw him from behind, and he was looking around at the desk, and I said to him, "Can I help you?" thinking that he was a stranger, just walked into the office, and he turned around, and you know what he said? He said, "I am your manager, your new manager." What you would expect a manager to be there. But he turned out to be one of the best managers I've ever worked with. Okay, sometimes he did a bit of bluffing, but I will tell you one little story about him. Okay, he loves the karaoke. If ever you meet Basha in any resort that you're working in, please don't give him the microphone for the karaoke because you will never get it back. So that's my little story about Basha, but he was a wonderful guy. Now also, I just want to tell you a bit about everything else that you had there. Just want to adjust my camera so you can see the Christmas tree, okay, because it's quite nice, isn't it? Just want to give you a little zoom in on the Christmas tree, you see? It's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, that's our little Christmas tree. Now, so just wanted to remind you, you see that little token upside there, up behind your seat there, look, this is the badge that I'm telling you about. It's a new badge. Look, I designed it myself, and as you can see, a lot of you can't see it right now, but there it is there, look, okay, and I designed that for my little t-shirt which was handy there. So I just wanted to remind you about that. Now, let's get on with those people who need to know information. First of all, welcome to all the newcomers. I've had lots of emails throughout the week. As always, I've had to comb through them to sort out the ones that we can answer and the ones that we can't answer, because some of them you can't really answer every one of them because they're repeating questions from before. Now, our first one comes from Peter from Galway. Now, Peter from Galway, welcome to my world of travel. The room I got was not the one advertised. Bedding worn and the room was mouldy. Now, Peter from Galway, first of all, you have to be very careful of your complaint about the room. First of all, did you check the room? Okay. And did you go online, as I told you last week? And did you phone in and ask them to make sure the room is okay? And when you went into the room, it seems, judging from your email, you took at least 24 hours or 2 days, a day and a half before you actually complained about the room. And now they did change it for you before you unpack your bag, is to check everything within the room. Not a day after or that night after. Now, it wasn't late when you arrived, so you arrived around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so it wasn't late, so you could have checked it easy, even then when the cleaning staff was still around. And if it needed to be cleaned, it would have been cleaned. Okay, so that's my advice to you, Peter, is always, in future, phone the hotel or email them and ask them to make sure that your room is clean and tidy. Rooms are very clean. Okay, so you can always think about that in future. Make sure that you do check the room before you go in and before you unpack. So I do sorry for that. I do apologize. It's a little mistake. Sometimes it happens. We all get excited and we go into the room and we unpack, and then we start checking things after. Like the old days, it was online. Well, they do tell you exactly what's inside the room, and it's up to you to check and to make sure everything is okay. So I do hope that answers your question, Peter. Now, our second one is from Francis. Now, Francis is from London. Welcome to my world of travel. Okay, and it's your first time. You've just subscribed, so welcome. Hope to see lots more from you. Not with complaints, of course, but to follow, okay, and to subscribe. Now, Francis from London. The food was poor quality and was mostly cold. Not much variety. Now, it seems from your email that you went to Portugal. Well, I know a fact that most countries, especially the hot climate countries, they're not in the habit of having food hot. I know the English like it hot. But some of the hotels in the foreign countries, they don't like it very hot. So maybe it wasn't as hot as you wanted it to be. Okay, but you said it wasn't much variety. I'll tell you what, it's very hard for a hotel to cater for everyone. So what they do, they give a variety of all different types of food. Now, maybe, as you said, it wasn't what you expected. Did you expect English food? Now, come on. You won't get all English food in a foreign country, okay? You'll get certain amount of things like potatoes, vegetables and stuff like that. And you might even get an English breakfast if they can do it. But I'm sure in all the places that I've been to that you can get a really good English breakfast out in the restaurants if you wanted a special English breakfast. But the hotels don't cater for just English breakfasts. They have to cater for everyone from all around the globe, okay? And that's why they try to give a variety of food. So I'm sorry about that, but poor quality, when you say poor quality, what do you mean poor quality? Was it because it was a bit colder? Well, okay, it is up and then only for you to see the chef that the food is cold, okay, or lukewarm. Now I know most of the food sometimes is put out very early in the morning, especially for breakfast. And by the time, it depends on what time, I don't know what time, Francis, you went in for lunch or for dinner. It doesn't say in your email, was it lunch or was it breakfast, but normally if you go in late, the food is not going to be really hot, is it? So I don't know, but in the meantime, please in future, for everyone, check the food when you go in. And you can always email the hotel and ask them, do they have this food or do they have that food? And will it be nice and hot? And all various things, and have they got English tea bags? And they will tell you. And sometimes they will even go out of the way to get them for you to make sure. But if you have any particular things, but regarding food poor quality, it is very hard for you to prove that it was poor quality. It might not be up to your standards or for what you liked it. And you also said that it was poor quality and was mostly cold. Well, I've already given you about the cold bit. If it was cold, then it's up to you to complain to the chef or to the head waiter or to the manager of the restaurant, and he will resolve that for you. So I hope that will answer your question, Francis from London. Now, before we go on to the next one, just want to give you a little tip about food in all the hotels. Now, I've noticed that when we go into the hotels, you look around, there's so much food, okay, and sometimes we take a lot on our plate, and we intend to take the same thing every day because we like it. Well, if you do that, then the food is going to be plain and placid and the same every day. The idea is for you to taste all the different types of food that they have on offer, and that's what it's all about. So do open your taste buds and taste all the different food that they have within the hotel, and then you will find that it won't be the same every day. Of course, if you pick chips every day and fish fingers or something like that, then that's what you'll have every day. It's up to you to have the variety. They have an international menu that suits everybody. Okay, now our third question is from a guy called Timothy from Brighton. Now, the pool was not very clean and some tiles were damaged. Now, I know that sometimes when you go into a pool, you have a lot of children in the pool. Hygiene in the pool is number one for health and safety. Okay, so please always do that. Go straight away and report it to the guy in charge of the pool, and he will rectify that for you. Now, also, another very important thing is tires that are damaged. Now, some of the hotels have been there for years, and you will find that tires are damaged. A corner tire, a small tire, but it does make a difference. It is important for you to report it straight away and point out where that tile is cracked or broken. Because if you get a cut, okay, then you can get tetanus. Yes, you can get tetanus. You will need tetanus injection, because it can be an infection can set in to where you've cut yourself on that tile. So that is very important part of health and safety. So Timothy, hope that will answer your question. Report it straight away. Cleanliness is important, and also damaged tiles are very important, because as I've told you, you can get a nasty infection from a cracked tile, okay, and you might even get a little bit of that tile cracked inside your foot or whatever. It's very important. Also, while we're mentioning about it, it's very important for you to walk around the pool area with some kind of flip-flops or something. It's not very good to walk around barefoot. I'll tell you the reason why. Because first of all, sometimes the floor is slippery. Not all hotels have non-slip floors around the pool area. So you might go on a wet patch and you get slip and have a nasty accident. So please always wear something on your foot. Take them off just before you get into the pool, and then that way you are taking part in our health and safety around the pool. It's sometimes we have to take responsibility for ourselves. That's very important. So, okay, Timothy, hope that from Brighton. Welcome, by the way, this is your first time also. Not a first timers this week. Now, number 4, Claire. When I say to see the word Claire, I remember working with a girl called Claire, and I used to always say from here to Claire. She was a nice little singer, and she was actually a rep with Thomas Cook at the time, and I made her one of my singers from my entertainment when I was an entertainer. So Claire, this is from Claire, but this is not that Claire I was talking about. This is another Claire from Newport. Now, long waiting for room service, not very good English, issue lost in translation. Now, sometimes we expect all people in the hotel to speak good English. Most of them have to speak some kind of English, okay? And if they can't speak good English, then you will show them or tell them what you want, and they will pick it up straight away. But majority of hotels do have some English, okay? So regardless the room service and the English lost in translation, which you've said here, okay, not very clean. Well, it's up to you to see the cleaner that's in your room, and you tell her exactly what you think is not being done, and she will make sure it's done. If it's not done, therefore it is up to you then to report it to the reception, and they will make sure it's handled, because all the cleaners, they have a boss, and they have a person that goes around and inspects all the rooms. So that's what you have to do. First of all, talk to the cleaner, okay, and explain to her what you want done, okay, and then sometimes it will get lost in translation. Well, just try to explain and slow things down. So Claire from Newport, I hope that will answer your question. Now, a guy called Darren, I know lots of Darren. This is Darren from Sussex. Welcome to my world of travel, to you. Went on an excursion. I felt rushed, not much time at stops to enjoy them. Now, most excursions that you go on, and it might feel as if you're rushed. If you are worried about any particular thing, just ask the guide to explain something, and he will take the time to stop and he'll explain it to you so that you will understand. So if there's a problem with an excursion that you feel rushed, talk to the guide, and I'm sure he will slow down for you, okay? Because when they're speaking 3 different languages, sometimes 4, and they have to rush it a small bit, and it's a habit they have. But if you tell them that you want to explain something to slow down, he will slow down. Because when you change from one language to the other, it does seem very fast, okay, and you might not have got the part that you wanted in your language, okay? So see the guide, walk in wherever you are, see the guide and tell him to slow down and to explain something in more detail for you, and I'm sure he'll do that for you. Now, so that's for Darren from Sussex. Now, Brian from Yorkshire. Brian from Yorkshire, right, a bus journey too long at the airport, and all the stops over an hour onto my hotel. Now, this is a familiar complaint that I've had through all the years. You see, if you have a bus, now a bus has to wait for maybe 40 passengers or 30 passengers. They are allotted the name of the guests, and they will have a list of what hotels with the guest. But apparently, sometimes a case is left or lost in the luggage, or a guest might be delayed with customs. Now that coach has to wait for that passenger to get on the coach. They can't leave without him. Now, there is a certain time that they do give, of course, and it's up to the rep then at the airport to report to the driver to tell him and the guide to travel on that. The passenger will not be on that bus, they'll be on the next bus. That does sometimes happen, but mostly they have to wait, and sometimes that wait can be 3/4 of an hour. I do apologize for that, but there's nothing you can do about that, because that's just, especially in the summertime when it's so busy. Okay, each coach is allotted a certain amount of passengers and they have to wait, just like if you were left behind. If you had lost luggage or you were held up in customs, you would like to think that bus was waiting for you in the coach park. Yes, you would, of course. You wouldn't want it to go without you, because then you would have another complaint. So just put yourself in that passenger's guide. Ask the guide, okay, or ask a rep at the airport what is the delay, and they will explain to you and will give you an idea. In the meantime, just relax, and if it's nice and sunny out, which mostly it is, then just chill out and relax away. You don't have to sit in the coach for the hour or half hour, whatever the time may be. Okay, and also the other part then, would you say the journey is too long? They've got maybe 15, maybe 10 stops. Okay, now it's up to the guests. Sometimes the guests take their time getting off the coach, because they've got to get off that coach maybe from the back seat, and then they come along and they have to look for their luggage and make sure they have their luggage got. It's very important for the coach driver and for the guide to make sure that each passenger on that coach gets the right luggage. That does take time. So I do apologize for that, and especially if you've got 10 stops and you have to do that at each stop. Plus you might have traffic. So there is a reason for that. There's nothing we can do about that. That's just normal. Bus journeys do take long, especially if you're far away from your hotel. Okay, and sometimes you might be the last stop off, but you might be the first pickup coming back. So it will reverse when you're going back after your holiday. You might be the first pickup instead of being the last drop off. Okay, sometimes it works out better that way. So again, Brian from Yorkshire, I do apologise again for that bus journey. Now, Bobby from Tadworth in Surrey, okay, our number 7th. Mosquito bites. Nobody told us there would be lots of mosquitoes. Now, I'm sure, Bobby from Tadworth, that you know that there's plenty of mosquitoes in warm climate countries. You'll get them even in England at times, okay? Now, what draws the mosquitoes is stagnant water, okay? But mostly you'll find that they're not malaria type. So please bring mosquito repellent, rub it on your arms or your shoulders. They do come out mostly at night time. Wear long sleeves. That's my recommendation for you from Bobby from Tadworth. Okay, for mosquitoes, long sleeves, special cream, and stay away from stagnant water. Now, number 8, John from the Isle of Wight, misleading info on the markets. Also, no hairdresser near the hotel. Now, hairdressers, sometimes most hotels do have a hairdresser inside them. So do check before you go on holiday as to where the nearest hairdresser is going to be, so that you will know, rather than wait till you get there and looking for one and searching for one, because most of the hotel staff don't even think about hairdressers. Some hotels will have a hairdresser in them. The one I'm working in at the moment have a hairdresser there in the salon. They've got a fantastic hairdresser there, but you won't get them in all the hotels, so it doesn't matter. So do check to make sure where the nearest hairdresser is. Okay. and it's not misleading, it's just that you didn't look for the information, because in the brochure it won't tell you where everything is unless you look for it. If you look down below, it will tell you amenities, and if you type in where's the nearest hairdresser, it will tell you where the nearest hairdresser is. So again, John from the Isle of Wight, misleading info on the markets. Now, misleading on the markets, the market is a market. You can't mislead a market, because a market sells everything. And if you did check before you left, before you left for your holiday, you would have found out where the nearest market is. I always do that. Check out where the facilities are, where they are. Don't wait till you get there and then start looking for them. Okay, so that's my advice to you, John from the Isle of Wight. Now, coming near the end, number 9, Veronica from Belfast. Transport issues, could not understand guide on the excursion. Now, sometimes a guide has to speak 4 languages, okay, and the microphone may be not the best quality, so please do always go to the guide, okay, at the beginning, and ask him to speak slowly and to make sure the microphone is working properly. You can do a 10-9-8 test, okay, so that you can understand it. And if you don't understand him, put your hand up and he'll come over to you, and you can tell him then what you don't understand, what he's saying, part of the excursion. So sometimes it's the microphone, it's a bad quality microphone, and sometimes because he's speaking 3 or 4 languages, he jumps into the next language and you don't understand him properly, okay? But 9 times out of 10 it's probably the microphone. So just if you can't hear him, make sure you tell him. Alright, Veronica, so that's Veronica from Belfast. Now finally we come to a lady called Charlotte from Mallorca. She's actually staying in Mallorca. Now, booking issues with online banking. Could not draw money, had to phone bank, took 2 days to sort out. Now, this is Charlotte, so I'm glad you brought that up, because this is a problem that comes up a lot. Before you leave for your holiday, do tell your bank. Tell your bank that you are moving for 2 weeks to a holiday, to a country, that you are leaving that country, and give them the address of the country you're going to. Tell them where you're going to, okay, and then they will alter that in the bank, so that when they get a demand from your account from this country, they'll know it's not a fraud. Because 9 times out of 10 you have to notify your bank that you are going on holiday, okay, because there's so much fraud going on. So Charlotte, I'm glad you brought that up, okay, and it does take 2 days to sort it out, because they have to check everything, okay. So please always carry a bit of emergency cash with you, okay, but just let the bank know that you are moving on holiday and how long you're going to be away for, so that when they get a demand for cash from your account, they'll know it's not fraud. Now, thank you to all of you, okay, that sent in your emails. Now, this is Christmas week. This will be my last podcast until after Christmas, okay, to the new year, okay, because we've got lots of things to do in the meantime, and I'm quite busy. But I do want to thank you all. This is my 4th podcast, and so far I've got a great review, but I would like you to subscribe to it. You might think you're subscribing by looking at it, you're not. Now, I always give you the link to my YouTube channel, okay, where they're all there, and also I will be uploading them all to my podcast area, so you can get them from any podcast or YouTube. I will send it to you also on Facebook. But I want to thank you all for participating in this week's, our 4th special Christmas one. Now, there will be music in the background, and also you will have a special virtual journey. This time we are going to Lapland. Yes, to Lapland. Also, at the end of our virtual journey, there's a little special clip video that I want you to look at, because it's about the elves. So you've got all that to look forward to. So from me, Michael, I've gone over my time again. From me, Michael, I want to say, may you all have a very happy Christmas and a fantastic fantastic new year. Wish you all the best, and may all your dreams and happiness come true, because it's very important. But always look on the bright side, and remember this: always check before you go on holiday. Do research, it's well worth it. I'll be back in the new year, please God, okay, with a brand new number 5 podcast with another virtual journey. But stand by, because you're going to go to someplace special, especially for all the kiddies. You're going to visit Lapland in our virtual journey this week. Normally it's a surprise. This week I'm going to build up the excitement. So from me, from Michael Byrne, I want to wish you a very happy Christmas and a fantastic new year. Bye for now.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!
Hello and welcome to my world of travel with Michael. This week we're going on a special virtual journey to Santaland. Come with me as we explore the village of Santa, its history, workshops, elves, reindeer, and the flavors that make this place magical. Let's go! The village of Santa grew from legend and generosity, a small winter settlement where craftsmen and story keepers gathered to share gifts and seasonal cheer. Over the centuries, it has become the heart of Santaland, a place where tradition and invention meet. Welcome's inside Santa's workshop. Here the gift-making blends age-old techniques with clever modern touches. You'll find hand-carved toys, bespoke wrapping, and a careful quality check before every gift heads off. Let's meet some of the elves who keep everything running smoothly. The Elves Village is a hive of creativity. Each craftsperson specializes in something different, from toy making and fabric work to tiny mechanical toys. They work in tight-knit teams, sharing stories and songs as they craft the season's treasures. These are the stars of the flight team, calm, strong, and very well cared for. Each reindeer has a routine for feeding, exercise, and flight training. Say hello to the lead reindeer and their handler, who'll tell us how they prepare for the busiest night of the year. The village of Santa celebrates many customs: a lantern procession that honors storytellers, communal carol nights, and a winter market where families trade handmade goods. These traditions keep the community close and the stories alive. Taste is a big part of any visit. Try the gingerbread recipe unique to Santaland, a rich spiced cocoa and hearty buns baked by local bakers. Everything is made to share, and there are always small treats for the reindeer too. For the best virtual visit, take your time. Pause to admire details, use the look-around controls, and try the close-up views in workshops and stables. Interact gently with characters when prompts appear, and remember, a slower pace reveals more of the village's small wonders. That wraps up our visit to the village of Santa. We've seen the workshop, met the elves and reindeer, tasted local treats, and learned about cherished traditions. Thanks for joining me. Follow my world of travel for more virtual journeys. Until next time, keep curious and travel safely in your imagination. Now Michael has a nice little video of Santaland. Until our next podcast 2026, bye for now.
My World of Travel with Michael Byrne, taking you on a virtual journey each week.